Get your boots on, because we're going for a ride. Hey everyone, and welcome to Lori's Cabin Crafted. Today I thought we'd travel down that road to a simpler life. How to find it, where to go, how to get there. I thought it would be fitting, since we're traveling down that road, for me to take you on a motorcycle ride with me and discuss finding that road that leads to the simpler life, because I think most of us can agree we would like our life to be simpler. The question is, how do we get there? I have a few simple things to take into consideration when you're thinking about revamping your life or your lifestyle to make it simpler. And so I thought I would share the beautiful scenery around our house as we travel on some backcountry roads around town. Well, it's not a town, it's the country. But we'll take you along with me as we discuss finding that simpler life. So let me just give you a little background onto my journey, which started about 1.5 years ago. I was turning 49 and I felt my life was just out of control. I couldn't keep up with things anymore. I couldn't keep up with the house. I couldn't keep up with the bills. I couldn't keep up with friendships. I didn't know where to turn. My life felt out of control. I had no control over it. That's what it felt like. So I decided to take control. It's only my husband and I and a couple fur babies, and I just couldn't reason in my head why we couldn't have a simpler life. So, craving the simpler life, I took the first step. Major factor was our finances. So that's where I started. I started taking a good hard look at them. We both made good money, yet we had none. So I created a budget, and it helped tremendously to know exactly where my money was going, how much was left over, how much we could put towards debt. I wanted to be out of debt, and we're still working on that journey. We're still getting there. But starting with the finances was number one for me, and it helped tremendously clear my mind so that I had a good path to follow. The rest kind of followed behind the finances. I started listening to Dave Ramsey, and that's the method I took. I took the snowball instead of the avalanche. And we'll talk more about that. I'll probably maybe do a couple budgeting videos, because I started with Dave Ramsey. I don't follow him to the T because everybody's finances are different, and I think you need to be able to adapt certain things to fit in what your finances look like, basically. So budget. But budget was number one, and it helped, like I said, clear my mind. It decluttered my mind so that I could declutter the rest of our life. And when I say declutter, I decluttered. And I'm still in the process of that, and I'm being brutal. I was 49. My husband was 52 at the time. Now I'm 50 and he's 53, and I'm still decluttering, because I find I do the kitchen once and then I go back and do it again and do it again. We order something from Amazon and I have an empty box, and I think something new came in, something else has to go. And I'm not done yet, but decluttering helps, and decluttering in every aspect, not only physical possessions, but relationships that aren't doing your mind any good. If they're not beneficial to your peace of mind, You might want to reevaluate those relationships. Declutter your email. Declutter the electronic subscriptions, your regular subscriptions. Go through every detail in your life, what you're getting, and do you need it? Do you want it? Does it help you achieve where you want to go? Does it make your life easier? Does it help you find the simple life? And remember, simple doesn't always equal easy. Reevaluate your time and commitments. Learn to say no. Set certain times for TV and social media. There's a lot to think about here, but our lives are complicated, aren't they? Which is exactly why we're searching for the simpler. So, although it sounds like a lot, and it is, it doesn't have to be done tomorrow. It's an ever-evolving process. Like I said, I started 1.5 years ago, and my life for sure is simpler today than it was then, but I'm going to keep going because there's more to be done. I think it also helps if we learn to recognize that need in us to keep up with the Joneses. You know, you see somebody have something new and you think, oh, I want that. Do you? Sorry, my puppy's barking. She wants it. She wants her treat. You know, is it something you could use? Is it something you really need? Once you get past that feeling of, oh, I want that too, once you can step back and evaluate, do I really want it, or do I want it because they have it? And you know, once you get that thing, you're going to be looking for the next, and the next, and the next. And that's what starts this process of accumulating possessions that we don't have the time or energy to take care of. Once you whittle them down enough, and for everybody it'll be different. Everybody's journey is different. But for me, a major part of this was getting my finances under control, where I knew where the money was going. I knew what I had left for groceries. I knew if we had extra money to eat out or not. I knew my debt was getting paid down faster than it would be if we were just making minimum payments. That helped declutter my mind so I could declutter the rest. And the rest will follow. But like I said, for all of us, it's different. And I think a major part, for me anyway, was the accumulation of possessions. And I didn't consider myself a hoarder, but when I kept getting rid of stuff in my kitchen and I didn't miss it, and I kept getting rid of more and more and more because I didn't miss it, it made me realize just how much stuff I've been carting around with me from house to house, how much stuff was cluttering up my cabinets so that I couldn't reach what I actually needed. And it was just, it's very eye-opening to step back and take a look. And so I started decluttering everything, things we didn't need, weren't using. Even if they had some kind of sentimental value, I took a pictured it in my mind, and off it went. If it wasn't something I felt was useful and was worth my time to take care of. The less things to take care of, the more time you have to do the things you want to do, to focus on your hobbies or your friendships or your family. And it's important to create space and time for the things that really matter. A huge benefit to this journey, and it kind of came right away for me, was a peace of mind. I had a direction I wanted to travel. I learned to say no to people. I learned to say no to things. I learned it felt good not to purchase something. It felt good. It wasn't going to clutter up my house because I didn't need it. It brought focus and clarity. And I can see an end goal in sight. The simpler life is mine, and it's yours for the taking. You just have to get out there and do it. One step at a time, one small step at a time. So, thanks everyone for listening to me rant and rave and carry on about creating a simpler life. I feel it's important, and I feel I'm a better person because I started this journey, and I'd like everyone to find it in them. It's there. If anybody's feeling out of control and lost and overwhelmed with stuff, it's up to you to take control and just start somewhere. The tiniest little start will help, and the rest will fall into place if you truly want it. Again, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. And maybe as the weeks go by, if I can get more motorcycle rides in along this beautiful countryside here in Pennsylvania, I'll talk more on each step and what I learned along the way and how I accomplished each step and which ones I'm still working on. So thanks for listening. Hope you like, subscribe, share. Enjoy the rest of the ride. Thanks. To our destination. The barn for some live music.